we are again. There are multitudes more. It's been about 10 minutes since my last recording.
Actually, less than 10 minutes or 5.
Okay, here we go. I am standing still. Here's one. It's going across the sky. There's 2.
8.
3. 4. 5. The clouds are doing weird things. My kids are tripping, but please tell me what these are, people.
And then there was one
Homer, Alaska.
Third phase of moon, taking your calls from around the world. The number one UFO channel in regards to the phenomenon. Let's go to our next caller.
Hello.
502 just joined us. Welcome to the show. Tell us your name. Where are you calling from?
I'm Farah, calling from Louisville, Kentucky.
Sarah, welcome to the show.
Thanks. And the object I saw was when I was in Bellingham, Washington, and it was last year. And I saw one of those big red things up in the sky, and it was so distracting that me and my husband pulled over to take a closer look at it. And I jumped out and grabbed my binoculars, and he just stood there watching it. And the red flickered out, and I put my binoculars on. I could see like a little bit of red still up there, and then all of a sudden it came down. And as it came down, it looked like a gray craft, and all the lights were out. And as it came down, it kind of rotated slowly as it came down, but it did come down kind of quick, and it came down like right over the street, the length of it. And when there was no traffic, we were the only ones there. And sometimes we'd have traffic out there, but something my husband didn't tell me till later was, but right before we saw it come down, he saw another craft. He saw one that was a traditional flying saucer-shaped one. He said it was kind of golden colored, and then he saw that one. So I'm kind of speculating maybe it came down because it was watching that one. But as it came down, it rotated around. Pardon?
Anybody capture any video of this event?
No, we just stood there stunned. I had binoculars on it. I was just frozen, and we didn't even think of looking for a camera. We didn't know how long it was going to happen. We didn't want to take our eyes off of it for a second. And like I said, it rotated as it came down, and on the underside of it, it looked kind of like a car does. It was textured with stuff underneath of it, and it had 2 like big exhaust pipes like in the back of the rear area, and it was like the size of a large van, something like that, around that size. And it descended down. It was probably about 50 feet above me as it went by, and then it turned 180 degrees. Yeah, I was close.
Had a really clear look with just about 50 feet and binoculars.
Yeah.
You must have just been right on top of this thing. I know there's drones all over the planet now, and people mistake drones for UFOs constantly. We're getting a flood of drone footage that people claim they're UFOs, and they do have these red and green lights on them. So a lot of people are seeing drones in the sky, and unfortunately we have these things that are being misidentified, but they do make a lot of noise. Did this thing make any noise of any kind?
No noise at all, and it was very surreal because it was kind of floaty at the same time. It's coming down and it's doing that rotation thing as it's moving, and it had a floaty feeling. It didn't have a feeling of being heavy. It had a feeling of being weightless. It was totally bizarre.
How large do you said it was kind of like the size of a mid-sized van or something?
A large van. Size of a large van, maybe a little bit bigger than that.
There is this state of shock and awe when people see UFOs for the first time, where they just basically kind of freeze and really don't communicate with
like
each other. Do you think you were part like kind of just frozen in time? There's this phenomenon of people that they don't realize that's a UFO. Let me grab my camera and or start hollering on top of my lungs to get other people to come and take a look at what I'm witnessing.
We were just in shock and awe. We never seen a UFO up close, We were just, and he didn't even believe in them. So I had seen the things from a distance, lights and stuff, and told him, I thought that they were real, and he said, no. And then all of a sudden, within a short period of time of us having that conversation again, he saw one up close. So now he's a believer.
Oh, is your husband with you at at this
Yep.
moment? Hey,
Yeah.
let's get him on the phone.
Oh, he's at work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so, and how long ago did this happen? Was this just recently?
It was last year. The one that was in Bellingham. That was last year.
Wow. Do you think it was military or were you extraterrestrial?
I think it was, military. I think it was, reverse engineered. It didn't feel alien. There was no insignia or anything on it that I could see, but it didn't feel alien. But we were definitely frozen watching it. I mean, it was definitely
Did you
something
feel
we'd never
threatened
seen
by
before.
any means, or was it kind of like
We
exciting?
didn't feel threatened until it got really close, but then it made a 180-degree turn, and I'm thinking it went and hovered over in some woods back there, which we didn't know were back there at the time. Otherwise, he went right over the highway, pretty low. People would have seen him.
Wow, so you think there was other people most likely in that general area witnessed the same thing? And
well, if he went over the freeway. Only if he went over the freeway. Yeah, and I didn't hear of any videos or anything, and he would have just been gone over, he was going, he would have just crossed it really quick, and that would have been it. But across the street's like a Lowe's, so, I mean, I just can't imagine where he would have gone. I think he hid in the trees. There's very few places to have hidden in there. This is right in the middle of town. So I'm thinking there in that patch of trees, he just went and hovered there maybe while he was watching for that craft, or I don't know. I don't know what he was doing.
What's the freeway, the location, the general area?
I think it's I-5. I've been moved away for a while, but I think it was called I-5. It's in Bellingham, Washington. The I-5. They only have one highway going through Bellingham.
Wow, when there's a lot of reports of people that witness UFOs while they're driving in on freeways. My brother had one back in '93, and it basically was on the 405, and it stopped traffic. Everybody pressed their brakes at the same time,
wow.
And there was almost kind of a pileup because what people were watching was just so shocking that
I didn't hear any noise of brakes. I didn't hear any brake sounds. I didn't hear any brake sounds. We as soon as we saw it, turn, we jumped in our car and we tried to figure out where it went, and we did go over to that Lowe's area and we drove around. We didn't see anything anywhere. We didn't see that it landed anywhere that we could tell. It was a busy area of town, so there was really no place for it to land unless it just hid in this little field of. There was a clearing in a field, so he might have hidden there for whatever he was doing. Talked to the neighbors around there. Nobody saw anything. They didn't know anything about it.
Well, you said I want to get some a little bit more detail on the ship itself. Some people, Flip It For You was saying right here in the flash chat that there's aircraft and maybe reverse engineered alien technology aircraft out there that they still have mass and they're built out of something, and maybe it's low enough is trying to avoid radar, is what Flip It For You say. But more in detail, did it seem like it was metallic and is made out of like metal?
Yeah, it seemed metallic. It was a gray color. I had the sense that it might have been metal. But it was real floaty. It was like a balloon, but it wasn't a balloon. But it was just really, the way it came down, it was strange. The strangeness of how it flew kind of, kept, the idea that we're seeing the ship is one thing, and then the way it flew was totally bizarre. And total silence, no noise at all.
Well, we're sharing video right now that we shared about 5 or 6 days ago. Ed called us, and we reached back out to him and had a phone call, conversation, interview, and he shared some footage of what looked to be, he says, military now. He's captured alien craft, and he's been aboard the ship, he claims, but this one is military, but again, it made no sound, and it's definitely some kind of metallic-looking unidentified flying object, but he also says that it was about the size of a mid-sized van as well. Let's go to area code 619 right now, and let's ask 619 about what he thinks.
Hey, how's it going?
Yeah, man, I know you follow Third Phase of the Moon and watch all the videos. I'm sure you've witnessed Ed's, and now we just had testimony of, it sounds like, almost the same aircraft.
Yeah, I did see the one was from Ed. That one's actually pretty crazy. He was here in Northern California is what he said. Yeah, that one looked like, to me, more man-made. It was like reversing engineering or something. I mean, that was the exact same way. It was spinning slowly, but it was like she was saying it looked like it was floating across anti-gravity. Yeah, but that one to me, it looked like more military, more, it was, and the size he was saying, yeah, I would believe that as well.
Well, you know, the video is amazing. Some people claim it's just maybe Ed's an expert and knows how to build drones. But then, again, conventional drones, not everybody knows what a drone is yet. It's still the newest kind of technology, billion-dollar industry just within the past year, and it's making a scene. But still, people are kind of unaware of their flight characteristics and what they look like. And a drone needs some kind of propulsion device, and you have these rotor blades that make tons of noise. They sound like a beehive. And people, if you know what a drone is, you're going to know what a drone is, and people are saying this is a drone. Yeah, possibly, but again, reverse-engineered anti-gravity, possibly, in my opinion. And we continuously share Ed's footage. Let me ask you anything. I know there's been some new news on Mars about more evidence that leads to that there was once life on Mars. And then the CIA admits that they're the reason for 50% of UFO sightings in the 50s and 60s because of the U-2 bomber. Any opinion on what's been going on down this week? I know there's a video out of Los Angeles, just right over downtown L.A. on the 110 freeway of a massive mothership that was captured last night. We're not sure what it was, but it was big, and we're trying to require rights and get the proper permission for the person that shot it. And I'm going to keep his name at the moment, but man, it's some pretty incredible just came out of L.A. Have you heard anything going on? Any opinions?
Yeah, you know what, I was going to call you and ask you about, I don't know if you've seen the ones that are floating around on Facebook. There's one called Disclosure TV. They use a lot of your videos as well. But they were showing the one thing that looked like a family of Bigfoot over in northern Arizona. And they also say that could be, that was like the DOD that captured that one. And then another one that kind of sounds weird to me was like it was right around the same time. There was the volcano, big famous volcano that has a lot of UFOs that fly inside. They got video of that, of the UFO flying inside of the volcano. But as the same volcano, a lot of people go over there and they hike a lot over there. And they were talking with some. They have like scouts over there that can they hike the mountains as well. To, make sure they keep an eye on visitors that come through and hike through that area. What they filmed was actually, and that was some real pretty good footage on that one, was it looked like big hairy, they looked like Bigfoot as well. And they said that hike to go up that mountainside, up the volcano side, was at least 3 hours, and these things climbed that mountain within 10 minutes. And they also said, the people that were there, they were saying it was followed by lights. Right after that, there was UFO lights and running around through there. That's what's kind of suspicious to me. Maybe the Ancient National Theories, if watching on that on HBO or on History Channel, they always kind of brought that up as well. With all the lights, with every Bigfoot sighting, and maybe that could be part of it or something. That's some of the news that I have seen.
Well, I hope you. We also put out. Bigfoot is the enigma that has yet to be solved. That's for sure. I follow Bigfoot every once in a while when some of these incredible photos come out, or people claim they've captured Bigfoot and they have it on ice. But I'm not holding my breath anymore on Bigfoot so much nowadays. You have these reality shows trying to go after Bigfoot, and you'll never get anything. I want some kind of evidence. I know we've dealt with Dr. Roger Lear through connections in the ufology world, and there's material evidence right there, and then there's videos of UFOs, and you have government officials that claim they've seen and witnessed them, and so there's a lot more evidence there. But this Bigfoot thing, so are you still holding out that you think Bigfoot exists, Kelly?
Not so much on that one, but like it's just weird to me that like they have it's a strange phenomenon, and you know they seem to see those same lights with that type of creature. So you never know, you know. I mean, like if if Bigfoot may be an alien as well, you know. I mean, you never know. So I mean, it's not like I follow that as well as either. I'm mostly into ufology, just like you and your brother as well. But sometimes that pops up, and you know, it's just kind of strange to see these beasts that are like, you know, they can move that fast. I mean, if that's a planetary animal here on this earth, you know, I mean, to me that thing would be moving more like a bear or a, you know, something that's going to be more or a monkey, you know, moving a little bit slower. I mean, monkey would probably move a little bit faster, but running a 3-hour hike in 10 minutes is pretty crazy. But
absolutely.
Other than that,
Well, Dr. Greer claims that the governments are creating aliens, well, human beings to look like aliens to do mass alien abduction, and instead of being alien abduction, they're actually all government operations. And I'm pretty positive that, well, if that's the case, then they definitely can create Bigfoot. Have you ever watched The $6 Million Man when he ripped off Bigfoot's arm and turned out to be some robotic creature?
Yeah, I was. As a matter of fact, I was kind of weird to explain that. It goes back me some memories back when I was younger. But yeah, I did see that one.
Yeah, it was pretty. It was crazy when Linda Hamilton and Steve Austin, Lee Majors, and they collaborated and did the whole Bigfoot series on the Bionic Woman and Bionic Man. It was a really cool collaboration. Wow, it was. Had me believing back in the day. But there might be something to it. Like Dr. Greer says, if they're going to create aliens, hey, why not create Bigfoot as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty. That's another creature that could be. I mean, you know, they always talk about like the different creatures over in Mesopotamia and Egypt area. I mean, those creatures they have with alligator heads or bird heads, human bodies. You know, you never know. But hey, another thing I was kind of come across was a man named by the name of Al Belnick. I don't know if I believe I'm pronouncing his last name right, but he claimed to have he was part of the Philadelphia experiment. Him and his brother way back in the day, and they were calling it I guess he jumped off the ship when they were doing the Philadelphia experiment. And what happened when they thought they were going to land in the water and swim to shore because they did it in the bay, I guess one of the rivers in Philadelphia. And he's claiming that he jumped through time. I guess him and his brother went through a portal and ended up in the year 2137. And you know, I guess some people found him. They were at the hospital for a while, and he seen some, you know, just watching TV like they were in the hospital. And some of the stuff he was explaining, it was just kind of mind blowing as well. And then from there, he jumped from 2749 to the 28th century, and he's claiming that he's talking with these people they're I guess the future of human beings, and there was a race called the Wingmakers, and they claim that they found a time capsule over in I think it's upper New Mexico in the mountains area, and that they found like all this crazy technology from the future, and it was a time capsule with 27 chambers in it. I don't know if did you ever hear about anything like that?
Not specifically that case, but I'm a believer in time travel and harnessing that technology, and it probably does exist. And I think it's proof alone that we might be visited by our future human species from the future visiting us in flying saucers, and they appear gray. The environment's going to change, and evolution's going to continually progress in human beings, and we might not be humans or Homo sapiens after a while. We may become genetically engineered into something else to survive on other planets, different climates, and it's not a bad thing. It's just that's the way the human race is gonna evolve. We're gonna change, and there's no stopping that. And I think technology is going to be the savior. But yeah, time travel is definitely something fascinating. We got another caller in right here at Third Phase Moon. We've got a few minutes left on the radio. Ellie from San Diego, stand by. Let's get to this next caller real quick. 786, you're live, Third Phase of Moon. Tell us your name. Where are you calling from?
Hello, Blake.
Yeah.
Hello.
This is him.
Hey, Blake. Sorry about that. Hold up. We spoke last week on Friday, and I'd like to see if I could talk to you or your brother offline. Is that possible?
Well, right now we're doing the live radio show. What do you don't want to share it right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll share it with you. I called you last Friday. I got some pictures I got to get to you. I got to share with the world. I'm not too good with Twitter or Facebook or anything. I don't do none of that, and I've been trying to send you stuff, and I can't figure that out. I'd like to see if I could get an email address from you so I could whistle these to you right away.
You ready? You got it?
Okay,
hey,
your last...
We want to see
I'm dying to send you these pictures. They're really interesting, and I've just been having a hard time. I'm no good with that type of stuff. Let me just double-check this. I know you're online, and this is kind of embarrassing that I'm having a hard time, but okay, I got it. I'm going to whistle these to you.
Hey, tell us, what are we going to see? What are we going to look at?
Okay, I've seen a lot of your videos. They're the floating red balls, okay? I don't have those. I have a couple of those pictures, but then I stood outside, and then one blue ball came, and it started whistling around at really high speeds, and then the blue ball turned into 5 balls. 3 of them were red, and 2 of them were blue, and then it would move around from one end to the sky to another end to the sky, and they were stuck together with a weird formation, and then it would do it would almost do circles, and then it was really high, and it dove really quick down, and then it turned into one ball again. And I have these pictures, you're going to see them, where you're almost seeing where that one ball is turning into 5 balls, and then I got pictures of it turning back into one ball, like halfway through with my big camera. And then you're going to be able to zoom into it, because I'm going to send you the picture without straight from the camera. I still haven't unloaded them into the computer.
Did you manage to capture any video of this?
No, I forgot my phone had video, so I didn't even think of that. I was my jaw dropped when I saw this, because I do believe in UFOs and in aliens and other worlds and everything. And I couldn't find my camera. My other camera has video. I couldn't find it at the time, but it was amazing stuff. And I also got a really interesting picture. I've never seen anything like it on YouTube. I believe, I'm going to send you these pictures too. I believe I have a tree. I snapped 4 pictures. I have a hobby. I take pictures of cars on the road, like, exotic cars, Lamborghinis, and I was snapping some pictures, and one day I'm looking through my pictures, and I caught a tree, and then in the second picture, the tree is like an antenna comes out of the top of the tree, and in the third picture, the antenna's gone. 4th picture, there's no antennas, but then you look into the sky, and then you see these types UFOs, but they're like vertical lights. It's like a light bulb, vertical lights, and there's like maybe in one picture there's 6 of them, the other picture there's 4 or 5 of them, and you let me know. You look at the pictures, you zoom in, and you tell me what you think. But it looks like the trees are communicating with the UFOs, as strange as it sounds.
Yeah, nothing surprises me. We hear it all over here at Third Phase Moon. I want to thank you for sharing your footage. We want to see it. Definitely email that to us tonight. I want to get it tonight, because I'm going to be editing this radio show. We're going to showcase it on Third Phase of Moon YouTube. Is that all right?
Yeah, that's fine with me. Go ahead and do it. I'm going to attach my phone if you want to call me back someday. I'm also going to send you a picture I took a couple of years ago in Miami Beach, where I believe I have a wormhole and a UFO coming out the other side. Really, I've always had these pictures. I just didn't know what to do with them, and then I found you guys. I want to share it with the world, man.
Wow, that's that's very humbling. I appreciate you calling in, and we look forward to seeing those pictures. And go ahead and add some description behind the photos that you sent me, so I could put that in the description. Hey, man, thanks for joining us right here at Third Phase of the Moon. Keep in touch, okay?
Thank you for having me on. I'm going to start sending these to you in the next few minutes. Super. Thanks so much.
Excellent.
All right, take care.
You take care.
Bye-bye.
That's it. Third Phase of Moon Radio, sharing UFO stories, photograph evidence, videos to the world. I don't know. People are starting to wake up. There is a petition that I want everybody to sign. It's going to be in the link below as well. Everybody, sign the citizen hearing petition. Shake up Washington, D.C. Make them come clean about the UFO phenomenon. It's real. It needs to be shared with the world. Get it into Congress. Let's have the debate. Let's have it open. Take action now. Click that link. Sign the petition. Shake it up, people. Blake Cousins, everybody, keep your eyes on the skies. We'll see you again next time.
It's getting all this data, and you're all sworn to secrecy.
They've all been studying this. They have more data than I do.
So the government has dumped disinformation and misinformation into the field for decades. They've undermined research.
I have lost faith in representative government. I truly think we're in gridlock. It doesn't work, and so we need to make a change.
I think it's ignorant of any people not to seek out what we need to know to continue the universe.
You give this committee a lot of reasons for us to say, open those files.
You're walking up to it and you touch it. What do you do? Touch it, that? Do you grab it? Tell us about that.
Okay. I started doing the walk around 360 of the object. And as I came around, I seen there was an inscription on the front. And
this is what you saw, right?
That's what I saw. So I started walking around the craft, and I seen the glyphs. And as I, ran my hand from the fabric of the craft, it was smooth to touch.
You ran your hands along it?
Oh, yeah.
I believe that the time is now to lift the veil of secrecy that has shrouded this subject for over 60 years, and the subject of UFOs should now be openly accepted in the mainstream media.
They exist, they are here to save us against the insanity of our leaders.
I agree with you. They should open those Roswell files.
There's only one way to regain trust. Find and tell the truth.
If it's out there, if it's real, we have a right to know.
This is the largest UFO wave we've had in Pennsylvania in 35 years.
What's going on in Bucks County? Total mayhem.
If that was a plane, it would have fell right out of the sky. You want to find that wow image, the one that's going to say, look, we've got them, they're here.
Did he saw a very, very unusual phenomenon.
If we can validate the story, what we have is an unidentified object in that airspace.
UFOs exist. What is not certain is what they are. The Mutual UFO Network, or MUFON, watches the skies, investigating sightings soon after they occur. Their investigators use the tools of science, psychology, and law enforcement to get as close to the truth as the truth will allow. Unidentified flying objects definitely exist. Only their identity remains a mystery. The mystery of UFOs over Earth.
I'm excited. I'm excited that they're coming. I'm excited they're at my back door. I am waiting to see what the culmination of all this is. It, to me, is something that is at the forefront of a breakthrough.
When they're talking about a flap, essentially what you have is the occurrence of a number of sightings in a fairly short period of time in a given geographic location.
Most UFO sightings occur with an individual. They happen, then they're gone. Once in a while, you get a mass sighting. In 1997, was seen by the governor of Arizona. But flaps are rare because they can last for days and sometimes months.
And then one day, just as quick as it starts, it stops again. And nobody knows why. So you want to take advantage of it. You want to look into it as quickly as possible.
This is the largest UFO wave we've had in Pennsylvania in 35 years. We normally get 8 to 10 sightings a month. We get 63 reports in July. There were 25 more in August, 32 more in September. Why all of a sudden is Pennsylvania seeing all of this? Something's going on.
Even though there are different days and different times, we're seeing a description of some very common objects.
The activity that we're looking at right now is about 7 times more than the usual. We've put together all our information so that we have a map of all the sightings. A lot of people have reported different objects, and it's interesting to note that these objects vary from a cylinder-shaped object to a boomerang to a spear.
All it was a white ball of light. So I ran inside and I grabbed my astronomer binoculars and I honed right in on that son of a gun, and there was no structural features at all. It was just a white, pure ball of light.
I've only been investigating for MUFON 4 months now. I'm out here to figure out what the hell's going on out there.
It was ball-shaped, kind of. It was just like...
multicolored?
Yeah. The most brightest, dominant colors were blue and